Today we're going to be making a smoothie muffin mixture. Now this is made using apple scraps and overripe bananas. So we're using up our waste again because most of us are in isolation now. We're trying to make the most of the food that we've got. Also with the supermarkets being super strict on the amount they give to people, it's best to make the most of the veg and fruit that we have. It is a very simple recipe. So the ingredients we're going to use to make these muffins are apple scraps. Now these apple scraps, you can have them as you've just had them, or you can also, they can be previously frozen. Also today my hands are actually my daughter's hands as she is home. Can't see that wave. You need to make the wave actually under that. So that's much better. The other ingredients we're going to be using is overripe bananas. Now overripe bananas are absolutely perfect for creating more sugar, natural sugar, into your muffins. They need to be really ripe so that they give the best flavour possible. The next thing we're going to need is some milk. Now this is almond milk, and the reason we're using almond milk is because this is a dairy-free recipe. We're also going to use some vanilla extract, and we're using this to enhance the flavours to come out in the muffins whilst they're cooking. And last of all, we're going to need, for the smoothie mixture part, is stevia. So stevia is a replacement from sugar. Now, if you don't have stevia in the house, don't worry about this. You can actually use sugar if you want to use sugar. And I will give an alternative measurement for sugar or stevia in the description underneath the video. So we're going to need a blender to make our smoothie mixture, first of all, exactly the same as you would if you were making a smoothie from scratch. So here we have the bowl that I'm going to be using to make my smoothie mixture. Thank you, Megan, if you can show us inside the bowl. So just any old type of mixer is fine. You don't need a super powerful one. So the first thing that we're going to place into the smoothie maker is the apple skins. What is it called? A blender. Is it pop them in? That's it, all of them in. So scrape the bowl out using your hands. Their little hands. Make sure they're all out and in there. Oh, lovely to my assistant. The next thing we're going to pop in there is our banana. Perfect, pop that into the bowl. Lovely. Followed by our stevia, making sure that we get all of it out of the bowl. Lovely. And then our almond milk. Making sure not to spill any, perfect. And our total last thing is our vanilla extract. So that's a teaspoon of that. I will put all the measurements and the ingredients underneath the video in the description. So pop that into the bowl. That's it, make sure it all goes in. This is important in the mix to increase the flavour. So now we've got all of our ingredients into the bowl, we're going to pop this into our food processor until we have a lovely smoothie mix. So this is what your smoothie mix should look like once it's blended. So we're going to pour this into another bowl now so that we can start to create our muffins. That's it, my glamorous assistant pouring it in for me. So the next thing we're going to place into our bowl is 2 large eggs at room temperature. Thank you, hands. Pop them all in. They don't need to be whisked before you put them into the bowl, that's fine. And then half a cup of olive oil. Now, if you don't have olive oil, that's perfectly fine. You can use whatever oil you do have. That's it, pop that in. It doesn't actually make a huge amount of difference to the taste in this. So make sure it's all in. And now we're going to whisk all of this together by hand until we get a nice airy mix. Okay, you'll know when this is ready because you'll have lots of lovely air bubbles in there, and that will have created a nice light mix ready for you to pop your flour into it. Okay, now we're going to add the baking powder to this mix. This is gluten-free baking powder. So you need 3 teaspoons of baking powder. That's 1. 2, 3. Then a pinch of salt. Then we're going to put in, last of all, our flour. So this is 2 cups of gluten-free plain flour. Gently pop that in. Tap your bowl. Now, using either a wooden spoon or a spatula, you're going to combine this together. So the great thing about the muffin mix is the fact that you don't actually need to make sure it's super smooth. Lumps are actually good within muffins. They help to create air pockets. Right, so this is how the mix should look. It should be a little bit lumpy, but falls off of the spatula easy enough. Now we're ready to pop this into our cupcake cases. So now we're going to pop some muffin cases into our muffin tray. Now this mix is for 12 muffins, so we need 12 muffin cases. Right, now we're ready to pop it into our cases. So Megan's actually using an ice cream scoop to do this, just so that it makes it a little bit easier to get it into the cupcake cases. Well, it should do. Lovely. These muffins will need to bake at roughly 180 degrees fan in the oven. So now we have all of our cases full, we need to pop them into the oven. It is me now, as my assistant has got bored. So bake them until they spring back to the touch. It does take roughly 20 to 25 minutes. Once they come out the oven, allow them to cool for about 5 to 10 minutes in the tin before you place them onto a wire rack to cool completely. Now these muffins do store really well for up to 2 to 3 days, or in the freezer for up to a month. Thanks for watching this video.